Hey guys. So me and Rachel have came here once again, as we often do, to discuss the event that we are doing on Saturday. How are you, Rachel?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too, Leah.
We have stepped into a very interesting time, haven't we?
Ah, interesting. Yes, it's a very interesting time. I think it's bringing up a lot for the collective. And yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive and be a part of this. And the uncertainty of the future, but the hope for a better future is always there too.
Rachel and I were just talking about the transitory stuff going on this week in general between the Mars Pluto opposition as well as Saturn conjunct the North Node and like reflecting on how like that's kind of impacting things and people. I think clarity, like definitely this event and like working on strengthening the third eye, it's like the perfect time for it ultimately, because we really need the ability right now to be able to tap into that extra sensory perception in order to kind of guide our way through the illusions of the world at the moment.
Yeah, there's so much of that. You'd say probably because of the Neptune and Pisces transit, the beauty of that, the faith, the dreaming, the best of all possible futures. And oh no, we're not even Neptune and Pisces anymore. We're in Neptune and Aries.
No, and I was just going to say the thing about Neptune and Aries is that I don't even think at this point in time that it's about, I mean, it's not even thinking, like I can feel this in my being. It's not about even cutting through the illusions of the world or the collective to see like what is going on around us clearly. It's about cutting through the illusions and the bullshit of our own lives. Like this is Aries energy. It's I am. It's like being able to tap into that intuition and act in alignment regardless of what is going on around you, because none of that really matters. Like you are the central focus now. Like you are the one that's going to make your dreams come true. Nobody else is coming to save you.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And it's like the courage take the steps necessary to create the life that you want to live in spite of whatever chaos is going on. I mean, Aries is that strength, that courage, that warrior energy. Because it's like this is the drive and the motivation to keep going, to take the necessary steps. But there is a lot uncertainty. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of collective fear and anger and what multiple things going on. But it's like in this current state of the world, can you keep moving forward? Can you still take the steps to live the dream that you want to live, or make pivot or make the best of it? I don't know. That's how I'm seeing it too.
Yeah, I definitely see it that way as well. It's fascinating to me as like a Pisces North Node person, right? Because I kind of know the stance like a little bit. But with Neptune and Aries like steering the ship of destiny, like we're still being asked to believe in the dream and like not over logicalize things and to trust in something bigger than ourselves, yet at the same time, due to the Aries influence, like the impact of that bigger than ourselves energy really is the self. Like we're being asked to trust in ourselves and in our intuition and develop our third eye, because Aries quite literally rules the pineal gland. Like this is the eye of Horus. It's the time of the new age. The rise of the new age is upon us.
Well, definitely. And I think oftentimes during some of the most difficult times, whether it's collectively or personally, that's the opportunity for people to also strengthen their spiritual connection, their intuition, to trust in that, because it's that faith, that connection to something. It's like it's trusting in the self, right? But it's also trusting in the the source, trusting in the source of yourself, trusting in your spirit,
Your
bringing
higher
that
self.
to,
Your
yeah, your higher
higher
self,
self. Yeah.
bringing that into awareness, using that to guide you, to be able to go to internally, ask yourself, what do I need at this present moment, at this time right now, and to be able to go within and to get those answers. So with this hypnosis that we created for the raffle, it was tapping into all the extrasensory perception, but I made sure to focus with it being connected to our heart, because from my
Yeah.
perspective, the heart is the memory of the soul. The heart is the voice of the soul. It's the spirit of the soul. It's there with you. I just felt like it was important that it was whatever focus I had in the hypnosis, I always brought it back to that connection to the heart.
I love that. I really do. And I don't know. I wanted to kind of go into the eye of Horus in general and the third eye and awakening the third eye. Because from this very basic standpoint, like so many people associate the third eye in general just with inner vision. They consider it to be a visual cue, like visual psychic perception. And they don't consider that there are so many different facets of that third eye. And that's what we went into in this hypnosis. We're not just dealing with your ability to visualize, your ability to tap into things like clairvoyance or like even, remote like sensing, viewing via visual perception. We're looking at hearing, we're looking at touch, we're looking at taste, we're looking at smell, we're looking at thought, like we're looking at all of the different six senses incorporated into traditional symbology, Egyptian symbology of the eye of Horus, which is the truth. And many people aren't necessarily even aware of that. Like, you very often, it's interesting as I've been doing these sessions with people that involve intuitive development, because I'm really going into people's charts and like working with them to uncover their own innate psychic gifts and which ones are the strongest. And I'm saying this for a reason, because we do typically have ones that are stronger than others. You definitely can see this via astrology, but like it's so much more than just the visual portion of it all.
I think that's really interesting, that you're doing the readings or the intuitive sessions or even the coaching with your clients, and looking at the chart and seeing how it reflects in the chart. So, what are some things? I mean, if you feel like sharing, but what are some indicators that would say, okay, this person is more empathic, or this one has more claircognizance or clairsentience? Can you provide like an example of how you do that?
I can
Or how
kind of
you do?
generalize it a little bit, but it's so hard because, and I know you know this, that me as a reader, like, yes, I am an astrologer. I have the logic to back me, but so much of reading for me is just opening up like a psychic channel to somebody. So like I'm able to pick up on things that it goes beyond the astrology, but I would say clear sentience, like you're definitely looking at lunar energy, right? You're looking at the moon. Um, and like moon Neptune would definitely be a big indicator of something like clairsentient ability. But also where the moon is located. I mean, you would also definitely see clairsentient type stuff with the moon and the 12th. It's interesting that you brought that one up specifically, because I've mentioned it multiple times within the past couple weeks that for me personally, I know that my clairsentience is being activated because
Mm-hmm.
when I'm working with somebody, I will start crying. Like I'll feel like I need to cry. And I know that that means that either the message is accurate or either I'm predicting something accurately or something. Like it comes through as like a burst of emotion.
Oh wow! And then you being a triple water sign,
Hmm.
um, that's really interesting. It's neat how people can find ways to know that their intuition or their gut is spot on. Like for me, if I say something that feels right, suddenly my right side of my body gets chills.
Yeah, you often feel it. Is that because of your 12th house energy being conjunct your ascendant? Something
Well,
is, right?
moon conjunct ascendant
So that's
in moon.
probably why you get because I know that the chills are one that you get often as like a pointer that you're saying something accurate.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I would say there's more of this certainty or reassurance in my mind that's like, yes. It's not like, oh, I got the chills, it must be right. No, it's like there's this knowing that just kind of hits me like, yep, that's right. And a lot
Well,
of it has
yeah,
come,
both of them.
right. A lot of it has come like with maybe more mediumship type things, and more of like, not like, oh, I see somebody, but more of like a mental connection, and I'll relay something, or somebody will say something. Like, I have a friend that I was close to her mom at first, and she passed away. So then from communicating when her mom was sick, um and then um after just kind of maintaining contact these past couple years with her, like, I really, value and appreciate this connection, also because I was very close to her mom. But it's like, when she's sharing her life stories, or things that I want to cry, when she's sharing things
See,
that
that's
she's excited.
clairsentience, though. That's probably also clairsentience.
Yeah, and when she's like sharing it, it's like, I know that her and her mom had kind of a difficult relationship, but yet at the end she was there for her mom, and I know that her mom is happy for her, or it feels like she's just overjoyed, or that she's there watching or experiencing, and it's like, that's when she'll tell me something, and then I also get the chills at the same time. So it's just really cool, but that's when I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
okay,
I
cool,
think
this
that
is.
you feel it in your physical body because of the moon conjunct your ascendant. So it's like it comes through psychically first. That's you knowing, right? Like that's you knowing that it just feels right. But then you also get the physical sensation in your body because of the ascendant conjunction.
See, that's cool. So that's how it would show. And what's cool about, you know, hypnosis, and the amount of times that we've done these events, and I'm sure we've said this before in some, so many words, um but you really do learn how to trust the intuition. You trust your, what comes to your mind. You don't just dismiss it like, oh, I'm just imagining it, doesn't matter. Or it's like, you're really exercising those muscles. And so there's more of a certainty. But and I think the certainty there too is when it also lines up with your heart. Like, you feel it, and
Hmm.
you just know it,
Well,
and it's
that's
just
the
part of your being.
I wish I knew the right terminology for that, but it just popped into my head when you said that. The brain heart coherence. Like somebody
Hmm.
explained that to me, being like a major, like, it's like the ability to have those two working in tandem, like that cultivates like this very strong, like psychic activation.
Yeah, definitely. And that was the focus, so I don't want to like give away the hypnosis, but
It's
a lot of.
absolutely beautiful. Like, oh my God. And this one is one that, like, I kind of enjoy that we didn't do this in alignment with something astrological because it's one that you can use, like, whenever you feel like that psychic intuitive connection is dulled. And right now, it is so incredibly important to be strengthening these muscles, these psychic muscles, because we're in alignment with it. Like, the North Node is literally in Pisces. Like, this is the way. I thought about what you said about hypnosis assists people in like learning to trust that, like that's such a major collective level, like lesson. Sorry, not level, it is a level too, I guess, that you would be reaching at this moment in time, but like it's such a major collective lesson right now. Like I have people ask me all the time, like, how do I know when like certain information is coming to me? How do I know that it's accurate? How do I know if I'm daydreaming it? And you know what I tell them? I tell them I know that I'm not crazy, so why else would I be getting this information? Like why else would I have this like random flash about something? Like there's no other reason than for it to be something psychic.
Yeah, and I think though you also have a level of groundedness to you. So
Oh, the
um
earth, yeah.
yeah, all the earth energy. So I think that it is also important, and part of the hypnosis was the grounding,
Hmm.
because um yeah, I think, of course, trusting that when it comes to you, and not to dismiss things, but also to be able to discern between a shadow, unconscious, unfulfilled desire, and a fantasy, in order to, fulfill a need, or a wish, or a hole, or a pain,
Absolutely, yeah, that is a facet. Well, and I feel like you helped with a lot of that because I did so much hypnosis with you that I don't have a lot of subconscious stuff in there anymore to like go off of. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not like triggered by things occasionally and stuff like that, but it's like you help me work through so much subconscious stuff that there's not a lot in there that hasn't been addressed or looked at in some capacity.
Yeah, so it's like it's come up, and that's the important balance of it. You know, it's just to not to be cognizant of the potential there. Not that we can be aware of a shadow. The shadow isn't really known to us until it's reflected back to us potentially by somebody else, or they act a certain way, or they exhibit a certain thing, or we get a strong reaction, or it's not, that's why it's in the unconscious. It's not, we can't see it until it's there, right? Until there's something
Well,
that
I think
triggers it.
like one
But
of the things with like all of this is that a lot of people will get confused about psychic perceptions that they receive, intuition that they receive. And you see this a lot with like mutable squares, where they are like, oh, well, I just got that. That might be true. The one thing that I can say from the standpoint of psychic development that is absolutely imperative, I feel, is to have people in your corner that you can trust to ask and verify the information that you're getting. So, like, one of the reasons why I have so much confidence in relation to what I'm receiving is because I had that. Like, I had you, I had other people who, like, are you doing the dishes right now? Because I'm smelling soap. So it wasn't like I was just over here thinking about it and, like, not asking. Like, you have to vocalize this and get that feedback from other people. And a lot of people feel scared to do that because they're not in environments where they have that support.
yes, 1,000%. So when I first got certified in hypnosis in 2015, I had decided right away that I wasn't going to be doing smoking cessation. I wasn't going to be doing, fear of, cockroaches or anything. I
Which is,
wanted
we are
because
not bashing that at all. We think that's absolutely cool. It just
no, no,
wasn't
no,
her route.
no. Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's very beneficial. I mean, it would have been smart financially if I would have done smoking cessation, but either way, and I mean, it's helpful either way. Getting people to go within and to trust their mind and their decision making and the power of the mind, it's wonderful. It doesn't matter. It's just because I had like for years read Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls, where they did the Life Between Life and the Dolores Cannon books and the Abraham stuff and the hypnosis and connecting the spirit guides and past life regression and wanting to know my past lives. I was like, this is the key. I have it.
But you
Why
know what,
wouldn't I?
though? Like, with somebody, I have to say this because you don't talk about like your certifications enough. Like, Rachel, you have those certifications for a reason. And I know that you are a Capricorn South Node, so you don't feel the need to go into that authority. But you have that authority behind you. And I feel like your ability to choose the spiritual route makes it just that much better because you are a unique force to have the authority and to go the spiritual route with it. Like, there's not a lot of hypnotherapists with the certifications that you that have gone that route. Like, a lot of them do go the easier route. And I don't mean that it's not easy. I don't mean it like that. Like, still, you have to do a lot of neurological understanding and learning when it comes to things like smoking cessation. But like,
Right.
a lot of people do that and you didn't. And that's what I love about you. You chose to go the more soul, like, exploration route of it all.
Well, thank you. That makes me that warms my heart, and I appreciate you saying that. And that's why I've always appreciated your support and our combined, the magic we can create together, and your gifts, and how it complements the work I'm doing. It's just I appreciate that. And yes, I do have a hard time with being like, yes, I'm a Reiki master. No, I'm a Reiki level 3 certified. So it's like I don't know what that is, but whatever.
But you've done
Um,
so much. Like, I mean, between, like I said, you have the like certifications through the National Hypnosis Guild as well as Edgar Casey's ARE, and then you also have all of these classes that you've taken painstakingly.
Well, it's just not basic. That's what I'm saying. It's really interesting when you stand in your truth and be who you are. When you're in your being, and I'm not saying I'm always in my being. Don't. I'm not. I'm just saying when you are, or when you feel it, or when you're aligned with your passion. Follow your bliss. Freaking Joseph Campbell. But when you're in that, then I mean, I've been since I was like 12, I mean even younger, but had the access to like going to the book like Barnes and Nobles and reading this because I saw Montel Williams with Sylvia Brown and talked about the afterlife, and then going into the Neil Donald Walsh and conversations with God. What? God's everywhere? God can talk to you? God's in the tree? No. God's in me? Like, how is that such a like I was raised Catholic. I don't know. It was such a like, whoa. And then it made sense, right? But it's like all these things have been, and the healing that I've needed, I mean, that's the journey, right? You get that, you do the healing so that you can be of service, or at least that's how I feel for my life. So it's like the things that I needed to be okay, to make it through life, to find a reason to keep going was spirituality, was
This
the
is the story of Chiron, the wounded healer.
Chiron, I'm kind of almost conjunct my descendant opposite my yeah. And so it's like that was my way of surviving, that was my purpose. So I love to give and share, right? So like if I know it helped me, and if I'm going to like talk about Wayne W. Dyer quotes, or like Course in Miracle stuff, or something that I read from Baha'i or Buddhism or
Chop
Hinduism,
wood,
or
carry water.
yeah,
I
chop
still
wood,
hear
carry
you.
water.
I still hear you in my head to this day. Chop wood, carry water.
Right. Exactly. See, but it's like if that, and then to learn all these things, and then to try to work through to heal myself, and then to be able to give that and help somebody to experience
Mm-hmm.
the way it feels
Yes.
when you touch into your soul. I mean, it's like it brings life to your being, and like you just want to share it, and you want everybody to have it, so
I
that you
think
can
the
actually. Yes.
biggest for me, like the biggest life that I can bring to somebody's being is assisting them in feeling seen. Especially people that deal with a lot of projection and a lot of false things thrown on them, because that's a part of my own core wound as a sun Chiron, sun Pisces.
Yes.
Like
Pisces.
if I can make somebody feel seen in their authenticity and understood at that, like, oh my God, my soul is just, I'm in bliss. Like, that's what I want, is to give people that.
Yes, because you know the wound, you know the pain. When you know the pain, either you go in two directions. You want to inflict that same pain on someone else because, you
Absolutely
know,
not.
right? Or
Absolutely
you
not.
want to, what you're doing, learn from it and find ways to work through it, and then be able to help people through being seen, through feeling understood. I mean, because the projection, I mean, it's
Mhm.
painful. It's
But that's
painful
the
until you
thing. Like, this
realize
goes back to
that.
the core of our hypnosis with the third eye. Like, when you can see through the illusions, and this is why I said, like, it's more about being able to see through the illusions, like, in your own personal space, in your own personal life. Like, it does not matter what people throw on you. It doesn't matter what people say. Like, you can see through the illusions. You can see people's unhealed pain. You can see that it's just something that's being projected upon you. You can see so much, like, just being able to activate that, like, third eye energy. And, like, it's
Right.
insane.
It would be like, okay, who has it been? Was it my mother? Yeah, okay, I love my mom, but we'll be watching a movie or a show, and she's so disgusted by their behavior that she forgets that it's an actor playing a role, that learned a script that's on the screen. Like, are we really gonna be that angry about the projection on the screen when it's just the projection on the screen? It's just a script. It's not real. What they're acting is not real. Why are you getting so upset? Well, there's something unhealed in you
Hmm.
that needs to be seen. And what is it? Is it the fact that you believe that about yourself, or that you feel that about yourself and you don't want to acknowledge, or that you're afraid that you could be, or what is it? And if you take the time and investigate, then you'll know, okay, this is This is just the story. So why am I going to let that person
That
affect?
power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, absolutely. Well, and I feel like there's so much of that. This journey is not for the faint of heart. This journey of living and discovery and following your truth and just authenticity. Authenticity is trending at the moment. Like living
Oh
in your
yeah.
authentic self, whatever that
Well,
may be for you.
right. It needs to be, because fuck it, we don't know what's gonna freaking happen. You don't know. I mean, I don't want to be doomsday or gloomy or anything, but we don't know. So why the hell aren't
I
you
think that alien
checking
Jesus is
out
going to come back.
tomorrow and making
Alien
up?
Jesus is coming back soon. He's going to shock
Well,
us all.
what
That's the
the
only
truth
thing that can
is,
rectify things. It has to be an
when enough,
alien Jesus. Like,
well,
that's the
when
only thing,
people,
Rachel.
yes, but Lydia, when people realize that they are the alien Jesus, that is when it's gonna power, because there's nobody out there to save you that's not in you.
Yeah.
So alien Jesus says, wake up, wake the fuck up. Just kidding.
Well, that's probably why alien Jesus, like the essence of Christ consciousness, it can't manifest into a physical vessel again because that's not what we need. Like, we have to be able to find that within ourselves. I just really like the thought of Jesus the alien coming back and like warping the belief systems of all, because I truly believe that Jesus was an alien.
Oh well, I mean,
Like
I
from a
would
higher
say
dimensional standpoint. Like,
multi-dimensional, higher dimensional being that projected itself onto the screen to show everybody that what they're afraid of is really knowing who they really are, and the part of them that's not authentic, that's not real, that's not who they really are, doesn't want to die, because it knows that if the truth of light is shown on it, it will not exist. And so the fear is so strong because it's holding on to an existence that's not really solid. And so with intuition, with these hypnosis, it's being able to tune into that, to connect to that, yet still being fully grounded like a tree with roots, because you are part of the earth. You arose from the earth. Let's not be so afraid of the earth that we have to like transcend and be somewhere else. Can you be here now with what the hell's going on and know your
be
power,
here
know your strength,
now.
and be here now? I love his voice. Um and and then to be able to have the courage to be no matter what the hell happens. And the illusion, see, I think of, the Aries Libra polarity point, it's always connected, it's always talking. So Neptune in Aries also has the potential for people to have the illusion or the belief that they are alone. It's not that. It's that knowing in your strength that you are part of the whole and that you're not walking this alone, but in your being of self, in body, having the courage to do what you got to do, chop wood, carry water, even if you have a broken ankle and your wrist is sprained. I
And
mean,
now
you
we're moving
do,
into Chiron and Aries themes.
but you do what you got to do, and you find the strength and you surrender. Neptune's about surrender. Have the courage to do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, give it up to something greater, to say, I trust you to guide me, to connect through me, to my heart, to my mind, for me to see clearly, to know. And if I don't see clearly, to understand that there's something I need to work on or heal or look at or forgive, and let it go and keep on going, and not get lost and worrying about what other people think about us or whether we're
There's
approved or not.
there's going to be so many moments from now into next summer with the North Node in Pisces where people quite literally are forced to lose their mind. And I don't mean that literally, although it is possible with mutable squares. Like, some people might literally lose their mind a little bit. Especially Gemini, Pisces. But like, we're letting go of Mercury. Like, Mercury, like as the ruler of Virgo, and it being Virgo, which is very worrisome, very scared, very
Anxious.
nitpicky, anxious, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't buy into that inner monologue of like the fear mind, because that's the Virgo energy. Like we have to eat, and it sucks because Saturn is conjunct the North Node, and that shit is not easy. So we're being forced to trust in shit not being easy,
Well,
but it also being possible.
right. Well, and here's the thing. I think you were explaining a lot of the shadow Mercury in Virgo. I mean, there's the upside to it, right? There's the service, there's the practicality, there's the ability to analyze, to have a thorough solution. So when in spirit, when connected, that energy can be very helpful. I mean, it's the
Oh,
nurse.
absolutely.
It's it, right?
But it is the shadow though when it's the South Node, remember? Like it's
Yes.
the negative manifestation of the South Node is the shadow of the sign. So it's literally the negative qualities of Virgo that will be manifested and that we will be asked to release. And the worrisomeness, like people are going to have many instances where they believe what's in their mind and they are proved that that is wrong. And it's really, I'm telling you, as a Pisces North Node person, this is very hard when you have to face that. And you're like, oh shit, everything I thought was true is not true. Like, it's incredible. I've done it a million times. I have died a million times in the process. And like, it's just like surrender.
Yeah,
Surrender.
surrender. And then also when with that energy, it's the shadows coming up, right? But you have to take it to the light. So you have to take it to its highest. The opportunity, or maybe not have to, but the opportunity is to learn and how to use that to its highest good too. Because there is that, I picture like a stream or an energy starting point. So here's the South Node in Virgo, and it's moving in this direction. You can see it. It's darker, and then it keeps, as it moves up, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until the end. There's this. So it's like this. It's like taking all that up for its highest potential, because there is a gift too in the South Node. It's
Well,
I think with any transit, the maybe the shadow or unexpressed, like, because it's coming out from nothing, right? So it's like all the dark stuff, all the shadow
there's
stuff needs to rise, but it ultimately needs to transform.
Well, and there's also that need for balance, like balance of the
Right.
nodal axis. I was just thinking when you were saying that about the way that I operate as an astrologer, right? So I have a Virgo South Node. My Mercury is an Aquarius. That allows me to calculate precisely. I do not use astrological software. Like I use my brain to calculate out transits for people, and I know that's my South Node. But then my intuition guides the entire process of reading somebody. It's like we have to meet that as above, so below. We still have to tap into the logic, and that's the gift that we have. The gift is in
Mm-hmm.
the logic. But at the same time, like we're forced to trust the intuitive flow to guide us through life. You have to use both in tandem and
And
also
when you have
surrender.
that, yeah, exactly.
We are in an odd time. There is no better time to strengthen your third eye, especially because it's Neptune in Aries. This is like the dawning of a new age, quite literally, with us being at the 0 degree of Aries at this point in time. But also, like, this is a different Neptunian archetype that we're working with. This involves quite literally listening to your intuition to take action. And it's pivotal because it's the ruler of the North Node in Pisces right now. Like that's the ticket, that's the key, is to listen to your intuition and act in alignment with it. And if you don't have that strong connection to that third eye energy, those various clairs, ultimately, whatever one would be your strongest, that can be a little bit hard.
Okay, so Cancer, Capricorn. What would you say the you would feel more strongly? I know what you're gonna say, but I just, so you can share it with whoever decides to listen. What would you say the gifts with that strong, if it was strong energy? So Cancer, okay, that's your disability. Capricorn would be, I'm just curious to what you
That
say.
axis in general, it's anima and
Mhm.
animus. We're dealing with maternal and paternal energy. We're dealing with the mother and the father, masculine and feminine, kind of in a very earthly way, in a sense. It's the ability to climb that ladder, gain that professional authority, gain that authority and mastery in general in whatever area you have Capricorn, in order to meet the security needs of your soul in an esoteric sense, but also from like a, you know, security standpoint of home and family life within the physical here and now.
And well, and what I was thinking, you know, what's interesting, because going back to the hypnosis, there was this sense of making sure the polarity was also addressed, you know, during all of this, that
Hmm.
there was the groundedness for each of the water, like, you know, okay, Pisces, Virgo, what is needed there? Scorpio, Taurus, what is needed there? Cancer, Capricorn, you know, basically for the feeling elements, or, yeah, I don't know, I was trying to see what would come up with, I don't know what I'm trying to theorize, or if I'm even making sense of what I'm saying to you, but I just kind of wanted to see how you would explain it, or see some of that, and then how we within ourselves, even if you know your chart, like how you find how to work through things through that polarity. Am I making sense?
You know, yeah, I think so. Like the polarity of the different like water signs, which are ultimately like the most psychic from a traditional standpoint. Is that what you mean? Like the opposing sign,
Like
how you tap into that for grounding?
for feeling, you know, to for the feeling intuition. Okay, so, you know, emotional, there felt like this need to make sure, if I'm going to be focusing on the emotional, there needs to be strong grounding element to it, to in order for it to
Manifest
um
properly, because you can't have
yeah,
one without the other.
right, because that's what I'm saying, I think too, like with intuition, what we were talking about earlier, of course trust ourselves and all that, but you have to be so grounded in your being that you know, what your heart is saying, and or that feeling or that gut, um and to have enough love for yourself to listen to it in spite of what your mind wants it to be,
Hmm.
to be a complete surrender, to just allow, instead of holding on to a narration that isn't true, that's just a story that you want to hold on to. I mean,
You need an
you know,
anchor ultimately to anchor it into
yeah,
reality, and that's Earth, like you're saying.
right. Yeah, because there has to be Venus conjunct Saturn right now today. Have a
I
strong
know.
foundation, build a strong foundation.
But Saturn is crazy in the sense that you put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the energy, you put in the dedication, you are rewarded for it every time. It's karmic law. Like that's energy expelled. So equal energy comes your way.
And you're putting the care and effort to be present and do what you got to do in this world in order to be.
I find it interesting. I've seen like a couple people reference that Saturn is like where you address the thing that scares you the most. What do you think about that?
I can totally see that being, you know, it, or an aspect of it at least, that um
Or the thing that you like are the most, I can see the and speaking from I'm preaching to the choir right now with Saturn just moving over my son. Like it's, I can definitely see it, that it's the area where you feel the most like insecure, like you lack
mm.
authority, you know, like the heavy Saturn transits. Like I feel like that's how I've felt, is like I feel the most unsure of myself until I make it through it.
Well, it's because you can feel the boundaries and the walls. It's like automatically that energy, that Saturn is like a
I have
structure
so
that,
much work to do
yeah,
before
but
I can claim this.
it's like you're, it's like, imagine you're just like breathing, right? And you have free range of where you can breathe, and then suddenly these walls box you in, and you only have that space to breathe. It's like you can still breathe, but it's hard to breathe. It's like you don't feel free. You feel the limitations of the walls. So
The
you
lack
do
of
what,
freedom is one that I
yeah.
always feel with Saturn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
So
so hard for me as a Venus Jupiter person. I'm like, stop it. Like, I'm such a lucky person normally. Can you knock it off? Where's God? Bring him back.
right, right, but it's also, can you stop and be practical for a minute? Are you feeding yourself? Are you paying your bills? Are you are you being human while you're human, regardless of the fact that yes, indeed, you're an infinite being of light that never dies and always is, and an extension of love, which is God, like all those things. But you still are here, and you need to drink water when you're thirsty, and you got to pay your bills, or at least try to. And you want to eat if you want to survive. And it's not always this freedom, whatever. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but can you do
Chop
both?
wood, carry water.
Really? Exactly. But then you can drink the water.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that is so true. I am so excited. I think we should segue probably into the fact that this event is different in the sense, and I think that this is something we plan to do in the future. We want to raffle off hypnosis sessions in the process of
Yeah,
doing these events. And
right.
that's a
Because
big
like,
thing.
yes, because when we were talking about earlier about like when I started doing the hypnosises, and it was because of all the spiritual stuff, and I probably rambled and went off topic like 5 times, but whatever. Um, you know, it's like, it's so cool how much you can experience. I mean, I've done mediumship ones where like I help the person connect with their loved ones. Now you can't
Hmm.
control who shows up, but you could feel them, and you can have a conversation with them, and you could cry, and you could feel their love. And what's
Yeah,
cool, and
you've done those in events, and I've connected to my grandmother before. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
and I when I would focus more on doing individual sessions and all that, I mean, I would do those sessions, and I had somebody that became a really good friend, one of my closest friends, and her son uh was killed, and we would have these conversation, these hypnosis, and I would connect her with her son, and I would ask questions so that she could ask him for an answer, just kind of thing. And she would tell me like, okay, he's hugging me right now, but right um before she said it, my whole body got chills, like if I was being hugged.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
or something, I asked a question and the answer came to me, and then she told me the exact answer. So it's
Yeah.
like that inner child work, like future progression,
Higher
connecting with
self.
the higher self, connecting with your guides, doing life in between lives, doing, connecting with your soul family. I mean, you could do anything. And so that's what's so cool about it. It's like, and it's an experience that you can take to your heart, and you can heal from. If you can let go of something, or see why you do what you do, because you see a story of a life where you did that, and you saw the
Well, and
outcome.
your subconscious stores so much information. Like, you have to consider the fact that we operate in some like ridiculously small percentage of like actual like conscious energy, and the rest is subconscious. So there's so much in there that we like I personally feel like it's imperative to be able to access in order
Yes.
to live, like really live.
Well, yeah, exactly, because it's all a hologram. I mean, one a drop of water has the entire, has all the ocean, all the, what I mean, it's all a part of it. So, um, that's in us, and we have that potential if we're grounded, and we're centered in our being and in our heart, and trust in our knowing, to receive the information that is necessary to be known, and to surrender to what can't be known, and to allow what must be.
Absolutely is. Like, and it's so different when you do one-on-one sessions with Rachel. Like, so many people have done these, and I mean, we've still done like a decent amount of one-on-ones, but like, we've done so many of these events, but not a lot of people have experienced you one-on-one. And like, I literally decided to work with you because I experienced you one-on-one. I didn't even believe any of this was real until you took me under hypnosis, and I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, what did I just spit out? Like, remember that lifetime I told you about? Like when I first worked with you, like I was on like a friggin'
Yes.
plantation. I had
Uh-huh.
no
I remember
idea.
the
I had no
dresses
idea
and
what I was getting into. Like, I had absolutely no idea what I was getting into. And I came out of it and I was like, I am supposed to work with her. Like, me and her are supposed to do something because this was insane.
do you remember, was it like, so I think I remember you saying there was a reason why You realized what you had Chiron and Gemini, or maybe I'm making that up, but
Yeah, because I was teaching. I don't want to go into that. It's too personal of a story. But yes, I was teaching people. Yes, yeah. It was very Chiron and Gemini.
yeah.
We'll leave it
So
at that.
yeah, so I mean, that's why it's cool. Like, okay, we're doing the hypnosis event, great, because the collective energy in the WhatsApp. So what happens is everybody at the same time says, okay, start, go. They downloaded the recording that we provided in the WhatsApp, because if they don't download it, then it will stop. So just in case anybody listening is like, oh, I want to do this, make sure you download it. And so everybody will do it at the same time. And then, because at the same time they come back, and some people love to share their experiences. And then the magic is like when
The
was
synchronicity.
the
Yeah.
synchronicity of, like, I'll say something, but they saw it before. Or they'll share something that I saw that I didn't say because I couldn't figure out a way to make it work with the
It is
sentence
so
structure.
crazy. She has this way of projecting imagery into people's minds, and literally, like, I've done all of these events. I take people under, like when we go under as a group, like I go with you. And there has been like so many times where like I will see something before Rachel says it, and I'm like, how is that even possible? Like you like implant the imagery in somebody's head before. It's crazy. We witnessed a
Well,
lot of unreal stuff with these events in the past, like just
well,
insane amounts of unreal.
I think what it is it's kind of a frequency that
Oh, it
you tune
absolutely.
to,
Yeah. Because
right? And
everybody's on the same
so,
frequency.
right, so it's ultimately with the sound, the sound that we use. I mean, we have our friend Cody that did the sound engineering for this one, and so, looking forward to sharing, his gifts and the music. So that was cool to collaborate, but like, I just feel like what the hypnosis does, what the suggestions do, what the music does, it tunes everybody like a radio station. And so you're just
Mm-hmm.
hearing what I was hearing. I'm just tuning you potentially to the frequency that I'm at with this hypnosis. And so you're just hearing the record play. I'm just the instrument, man.
You're just a channel. A very beautiful channel at that. Like so
Oh,
incredibly
stop
heart-centered.
it.
It's so
Stop
true, though. I
it.
cannot
So,
speak your
oh,
praises enough. I'm
stop.
gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it because she really is amazing, and she will not take credit for any of it. Her humility is like so incredibly strong.
It's because last lifetime I was a tyrant, egocentric, maniac, narcissist who needed to be known because I have my son in the 12th house, so I must have been high and mighty, and by golly, I had no
Especially the
sense
Capricorn
of.
South Node.
I ruled like a tyrant, and I looked down on those, I don't know. Or maybe, I froze to death and starved to death, and, and didn't have hope or something. There's that too, but it's fun to imagine, like, just because, like, it, like, hurts my heart to think of myself being that way, but I'm like, yeah, Rachel, you were that. You probably were. So are you going to judge it? Are you going to forgive it? Are you going to recognize the parts of you, even if it's a tiny, small, minuscule part of you that still has those tendencies, or can at least understand why? And can you forgive it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you just let your humanness, I mean, Aries, can you just be the freaking human, the self? Just stop worrying about being something other than yourself. Just be the most authentic, true, forgiving you
That's
that you
it.
can be.
Like, it's absolutely authenticity. It's like standing in your authenticity is so Neptune and Aries, I feel like. And it's, again, with Neptune ruling the North Node, like, this is going to be such a major thing because you can't make those decisions in alignment with your intuition, take action that you need to take to make the dream come true without standing in that authenticity. It's the only way. Like, if you're
Right.
not true to yourself, it's not going to work.
But also be so free that you can wish or dream as you dream. But if it needs to dissolve and be something else, or isn't what you think it is, be willing to surrender that too, and trust that
Yeah.
whatever is on its way or what you're walking towards is meant for you. And can you find the lesson? Can you be open to question? Isn't Jupiter in Gemini? or Gemini.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Can,
one thing that's interesting about that is like this is Neptune in Aries, right? And so that's really giving Neptune this like Martian energy where it's like we're what you said about like changing directions, like that is a thing. Like you're gonna have to learn to like not only into it, but like into it on your feet and like maybe move this direction and then this direction and then that way. Like it's changeable, not in a mutable sense kind of, but it's more from an action related sense where like those light bulb moments are going to be so much quicker because you have to
mhm.
in order to
Yeah.
adjust the
Right. Yeah, and
course.
you have to be willing to let go. We can't be holding on to it for dear life.
We
We
don't have
gotta let.
time. We have
Well,
actions to
exactly.
take.
And here's the thing: have you not seen already so far, like at least like the past 10 years, how easy things have changed and how what you thought was solid broke apart? Like, have you seen like the things that you thought you could hold on to and lose ground? I mean, Uranus and Taurus. Like it's that movement. So it's like, yes, have the grounding, do the chop wood, carry water, yeah, go do, but change, pivot, go this way. Okay, be strong, be courageous, jump over that cliff. I don't know.
You know, it is crazy. It is. Well, I was just like reflecting on Neptune and Pisces and how much, like, as a Pisces myself and as a Pisces North Node as well, like, the thing that I appreciate the most about Neptune and Pisces is just how much openness it created in relation to spirituality. People who were so not open are so open now to things beyond their comprehension being possible, and this is the year for that. Like I feel like people have been very desensitized in general with that, and I mean this from, I mean, we have in general as a society, but I mean from a spiritual standpoint, a lot of people have been desensitized due to Neptune and Pisces. But like
Mm-hmm.
this is like the final leg of that where like your people are going to have those like major moments of like dreams coming true and their intuition solidifying and like we're graduating. We're graduating this year.
You're coming out to surface, and you're moving forward. You're marching on. Yeah. I just
I just heard that song, I'm coming out.
I'm coming. Wait, how does it go?
I am coming out. I don't know. We're not going to tell her.
I'm coming out. I want the word. That one.
Yep. That's it. That's
Okay.
the theme song
Yeah.
for Neptune and Aries.
I think that it's with Neptune and Aries, people are gonna be like how you mentioned about being authentic, because you have to be. It's a courage to be authentic. It's a courage to say, Libra, Shadow Libra, I need to be a certain way to be liked, or I need to go with the crowd or the group because I don't want to be left alone. Because if it's a survival thing, right? But to have the courage to, like, you know what, I'm gonna be
Release the
courageously.
judgment. That's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
major thing. And the
Yeah.
Aries energy guiding that, like, holy shit, watch out.
Yeah, the courage that is necessary to be yourself, because then you're free. I mean, when you let go of the opinion of what other people think of you, and you trust in your inherent good and your connection to source, and that you are love and source is love, and it's an extension, and you have all the love in the universe inside you, then, like, what are you worried about if you don't get approval? Can you have more self-worth to know that you are worthy of all the love in the universe? And so if a few people don't like you or don't understand you or don't project on you, that's their story. Like,
Oh, let
that's
me tell
their.
you. Let me just drop a piece of wisdom in relation to that one. If you have a dream that you want to follow, and it is your dream, and you hold this dream very, very close to your heart, you are going to lose a lot of people in the process because people are not going to understand that dream. And you will have to accept that people do not like you in the process of this. But if you want that dream to come true, you have to keep moving towards it, regardless. Like
Oh, that's right.
that will be a major theme again with the North Node in
Yes.
Pisces, Neptune, and Aries. Like you're gonna have to release what weighs you down because you got moves to make, you got actions to take, you got to keep going.
Right. And it's like, I admire the courage with Aries energy of, like, you know what? F it. I am me. I'm going to do whatever the F I want to do because I'm going to live my life for me. I admire that energy. Now, there's a shadow side, and then there's the other that says, no, I'm going to do that because I put in the airplane, I put the mask over my face first. I make sure I'm good with me, because when I'm good with me, then when I'm really, really good with me, then I can be really, really good with you, however the
You
F you
can't fill
are.
from an empty cup.
Yeah. And you accept someone's flaws, you accept someone's humanness. You're like, yeah, of course, you're like a computer program with a built-in flawed system that's never going to be 100% good. There's always an issue with it because you're not the computer system. So it's like, yeah, you think you're the computer system. You're stuck in the belief system and the mindset that you're the computer system having no choice, but you're the whole thing that creates the whole thing, so it's like, I don't know.
Surrender. It's all about surrender. We hope that you guys join us for this lovely group hypnosis session that we are doing on Saturday. We'll be doing the raffle after this, ultimately, and I will announce who has won. We're changing. Times are changing. Things are changing. We're giving away full-length regression sessions now. It's
Well,
the
and
age
not
of
just
Aquarius.
regression. We're gonna do mediumship. We're gonna do,
Yeah.
life planning. We're gonna do like talk to grandma, try or mediumship. So you can strengthen your own mediumship gift. We're gonna do a series on individual. Okay, mediumship. We're gonna focus this session on strengthening the mediumship skills and trusting, and then I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna do things where we're connected to all the love in the universe, and being able to draw into that like a power to help you be and stand in, to be in your being, to stand in your being, to have that courage to shine light on the darkness even inside of you and to not judge it.
It's going to be good. And we can't wait to see you there.
Bye everybody, thank you for listening.